Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Real Exchange. It's been a while since we've had this type of format, but I had to bring it back for Miss Donreal here today. So let's get started right into this interview. Hello, Miss Donreal. How are you doing today?
Great, Amber. How are you?
I'm awesome, awesome. Glad to have you. Glad to have
Glad to
you.
be here.
Yes, I like the energy.
Of course.
So let's start out with you telling us a little about yourself. So who are you?
Well, my name is Donreal, good old country girl from Greenville, Mississippi.
Hey.
Hey, right. So I moved here. I'm in Atlanta now. I've been here for 7 years. I moved here to study business and to essentially establish a life for myself. So currently, I work as a financial and investment professional in financial services. And essentially, what we do is we educate families on money and personal finances, implement programs to help them accomplish their financial goals. So that could be things like life insurance, college savings programs for the children, investing to maximize their retirement savings, and really just educating them, but also implementing whatever programs are necessary to change their trajectory. That's
Okay.
what I do.
That's very needed in, in our daily lives.
It's vital in our community, especially.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I like it. I like it. So here's a question that I asked that's kind of challenging. But here goes.
Okay.
Why are you valued?
Mm, that's deep. Why am I valued? I think number one in business, essentially what I do is recession proof. Because no matter what state the country or the economy is in, I think it's important that people are educated on money, know how money works so they can make their money work for them and be better prepared for whatever it is that they're trying to do in the future. So I think business wise, we're good because people continue to need what we offer. But also, I think what's unique to me in our practice, we're valued because we spend a lot of time educating our current and prospective clients. We don't use all that jargon that some financial advisors use. We really put things into layman's terms. Target Main Street, middle income, working class families, people that oftentimes get overlooked,
Right.
right? And help them get set up for success. Value because I'll take an appointment with my clients on a Sunday at 10 a.m. Well, and most advisors won't.
Mhm.
So, it's really putting people first and doing whatever, even if it means them not becoming my client, doing whatever is in the best interest of that family. And I think that places an immense amount of value on myself, on our practice, and on the things that we offer.
Perfect. Perfect. I like that. I like that. And it's I think the basis of your value is that you are helping others and that you
Of
are
course,
that's
the
like
service,
the
service.
service
Yeah,
that
we're serving.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like it. Um so what are some human rights issues that you are passionate about?
That's a really good question, Amber. So I never get to speak about these types of things, I guess, just because I have a central focus.
Mhm.
But just personal human rights issues that I'm passionate about would be harsh criminal sentencing. I think the excessive nature of punishment is a huge problem in our country. That would be number one. Second would be affordability of housing. So housing, like location, habitability, like is it good enough for people to live in? Accessibility, affordability, right? Do we have adequate housing that people can afford, to live in? Then last, I think, will be racism,
Okay.
and that one is revolving.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
when you talk about harsh prison sentencing and treatment. That's something that I would like to learn more about, because it's kind of like something that is kind of, it's not out in the mainstream from what I see. But it's still vitally important, and those people are important, and they have purpose and value in this world. And you can't just go around treating humans any kind of way. So
Yeah.
would you like to expound upon that any?
I think, um, quite contrary, we do have some people that are on the front lines of that. I know, mainstream, Meek Mill, for instance,
Okay.
right? So, he was in prison, unfairly. Just, it was a lot. But when he came out, he really made it a point, to bring to the forefront of how our people, mostly our men, are being imprisoned, given extremely harsh sentences for minor offenses, or what would be considered minor for other races,
Mm-hmm.
right? So people, nonviolent crimes. So you're caught with an ounce of marijuana. Why are you in jail for 20 years for that? I
Mm-hmm.
just think it's asinine. So just like those types of things, where it's almost as if, the agenda is to put a certain group away for a long time, which is also a form of discrimination. I do think the excessive nature of punishment is a form of discrimination. We have counterparts who, get arrested for the same offenses that, men in our community do, and they get a much more reduced, um, sentence, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really unfair. So
Right.
that that's something I'm passionate about. I've also seen Jay-Z do some work in that community. I think a few years ago, like, he spent some of his money and paid bond for, Black men who were just sitting in jail. They could be out, but they just couldn't afford to pay to get out. It may have been $300. It may have been $3,000. Again, non-violent offenders,
Right.
people who don't harm the community by them being on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Gotcha. You explained that very well. That really shed some light on it for me. And
Yeah.
I hope that anyone watching this will take that and take that nugget of information. It will help them to let's see. So, do you see a way that you and others can be instruments of change, like dealing with um, those issues that you're passionate about? How can you yourself or others get involved to bring about change?
I think the first way to be involved is to engage in dialogue. So I think, like, what we're doing now is important. We have to talk about these things, because the more we act like they don't exist, it doesn't serve any of us, and it definitely does not serve, any of those incarcerated. And I've seen Kim Kardashian, just even her using her platform. That, and a lot of people may not like her and may not agree with many things, but what she did was she was an instrument of change for a lot of women who were incarcerated. She knew she had a platform, she knew she had a voice, and she used that to get those women pardoned and essentially release them out of prison. Some were supposed to be serving life sentences, and now they're at home with their families. So I think we got to talk about it. If you have a platform, use it for good. Don't be silent, and get educated. I think if you don't know these things exist, or you may hear about them, but you don't necessarily peel back the onion to see, hey, these things could affect someone that I know, or you or your family or a group of people that you know may already be marginalized or may already be in this system, but because you're not privy to it as being a human rights issue, I think it's easy for us to just think it's a way of life.
Mm,
Right. That's how it is. Yeah, we're supposed to live in the hood. We're supposed to, like, you're supposed to live somewhere that has access to healthcare. You have to have access to just different things. Some places here in Atlanta, they're food deserts. They don't have access to fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, farmers markets, they're not in the community. So a lot of those communities, they have obesity, they have health problems because it's a food desert. And I know that's kind of off topic, but just some of the ways that we can be instrumental in the change. Got to talk about it, got to use our platform. We can't be silent, and we have to get educated for sure.
Definitely. And I really like that you mentioned to get educated. Knowledge is power. And if we don't know the problems that exist, how can we take action against them? Like it's kind of, you're shooting at the wind, right? You're not really going to get anywhere.
Yeah, and I'll take it a step further, Amber. Knowledge, people say knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is power. Because the first step is researching. So what are you going to do now? Right? You have to apply those things. But I agree.
Perfect. Yeah. Hey, put in your 2 cents. I appreciate everything that you have to say. I appreciate it. Let's see. Last question. How can people who are interested in your services connect with you?
Well, I try to make myself very accessible. So I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I have a linktree. So my tag for all of my social media is my first and last name, Donreal Walton. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. My DMs, my PMs are always open. I sometimes may post my cell phone number. You can text me. You can call me. But if you go to my Facebook or my Instagram, I've got a link to my Linktree. And in that Linktree is the ability for anyone to schedule a free consultation, right? So that's a free 30-minute to an hour strategy session where we can look at what some of your goals are and figure out what makes sense, what steps specifically make sense to help make sure that we can get individuals on track for what it is that they want to do. You can text me 678-772-7601. You can text the word info, and then I'll know that you want to talk about some things, and I'll give you a call from there. But I would say my social media, it's got all my contact info in my Linktree, and as well as some other free resources there. If you want to get educated on, different financial concepts, those things are available on all those platforms as well. So I'm very accessible. Reach out to me, ask me a question. My number one intent is to serve. I got into this industry because I want to do impact work where I feel I'm adding value, and I can only do that if I'm continuously having the conversations with people about money and how to make sure that they maximize their, savings and their knowledge about money.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking out the time to sit with us and explain your opportunities that you have and to talk about human rights issues. And with that, we'll conclude this interview. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll be back anytime. See you later.
Bye-bye.